Hello YouTube, this is another episode of Thomas Talks. Today's not going to be a very long episode, but I got a couple updates for you. One, Project Zombiods has finally released their update, which includes character classes, stats, skills. It includes food can rot now and go bad. It also includes diseases, like you can get colds. You get different perks. I mean, just a bunch of different stuff. You can make a bunch of different stuff now too. Sorry, it's a lot harder now. It's a lot more survival. That's in sandbox mode. The original mode is still there. Technically, and they also made it to where you can only get in if you've paid for the game and actually bought the game, which is cool because I've already. So for those of us who, like me and some other people, who already actually bought the game and just waited it out, you can go try it today if you've got your username and everything, and actually they're letting you buy it straight up today too, so you can try it. And it's not the full patch, basically, because they're still fixing some bugs for release, but it's basically the beta test of the patch, and the actual patch is coming out tomorrow. And so yeah, you can go try their new update today and try out sandbox mode and some of their modded areas and stuff like that. Also today I'm going to talk about Borderlands 2. And what's happening with Borderlands 2 is you've got new classes. They said that eventually how they're going to do it is your new classes will actually be fighting something big enough. And if you get Game Informer, you already know all this. But you will actually be taking on a dictator of Pandora. And so you will go, and the original cast of Borderlands 1, you'll actually get to go and recruit their help. And so yeah, you'll end up meeting up with the Soldier and Brick and the Siren and stuff like that. And in this game you've got, they haven't really said a lot about the classes yet, but for sure you've got, I'm sure, 4 different classes again. One of which is called the it's the gun techer, or it's something like that. Anyway, he's kind of like Brick in a really, really small form, and his special is to dual wield guns. Literally any gun. You could dual wield anything from pistols and machine guns all the way up to shotguns and rocket launchers. You can dual wield any gun, and that's his special. And they're really showing that off, where you can dual wield multiple different guns. Also, in this they've now got where how in the first game, if you took a weapon or a shield or something and it had a name on it, it would be like Atlas Rifle, or they all had their own name. They, in this one, have made it more specified as to the differences of every single class. So they've got that going for them. They've also got a gun class that apparently when you run out of ammo in the clip, instead of reloading, you just straight up throw the gun and it explodes. It's like a grenade. Well, the more ammo you have in that gun, when you decide to throw it at them, the more damage that grenade will do. And like I said, all this information is in the Game Informer edition for this month. So if you've got Game Informer, you can see all this. But yeah, and then they've got a ton of new enemies, just a ton of new guns. Should be definitely a lot more challenging. All the vehicles in this one are 4-person vehicles, so Borderlands 1 was really lacking that. It could only hold 2 people, even though the Raiders could get 4 people on there because they'd have 1 on each side. The DLC, I honestly haven't played the DLC yet for Fort Knox. I'm under the impression, though, that adds new vehicles, as well as a new level cap of 69, I think, is the level cap now. I may be wrong, though. Or it may be 70, 71. I know I've seen level 69s. And so that might be the max now. And it's supposed to add new vehicles, and I'm not sure, and you can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but those vehicles are supposed to be 3 or 4 people as well. So they never really got done with it in Borderlands 1, but they said that in Borderlands 2, every vehicle will be 4-person vehicles. So you can have 4 people and not have to worry about taking 2 different cars if you don't want to. And so you've got that working for you. So along with all the new monsters and guns and additions that they've made, the graphics are updated a little bit. It's still got that cartoony look that Borderlands always had to it, which is a good thing, because honestly that's what makes Borderlands, besides all the other stuff. But now you can go in, or anyway, so yeah, they've updated the graphics a little bit to be a more modern, cartoony look to it. It's really cool how they do their graphics. Just the whole Borderlands franchise is really good with their graphics, I think. It's something new, and I really like that. Also, the update for 1.8 for Minecraft hasn't come out quite yet, but it should be coming out the beginning of September, I think. I could go in and tell you more stuff about Borderlands if I really need to. If you would like me to do one of my talks on just the stuff on Borderlands, I can do that. It won't be very long, because honestly, everything I told you just now is almost everything that there is. I would just get into more details like who is the dictator, some of the different weapons stuff that I didn't mention, stuff like that. And so yeah, don't forget the Project Zombiods if you like that. That's got the update that came out officially today. Well, not really officially today, but you can go play it today. And then officially, it comes out tomorrow. And then Terraria, if you play Terraria, apparently it came out with a patch, which is 1.0.6.1, I think. I may have that wrong. But anyway, when they did their 1.6 patch, 1.0.6 patch, they added all these new items and new furniture and stuff like that. They did a patch on top of that patch that's just a section that adds, instead of the workbench, you now have a sawmill to build most of your complex things. Like you build the sawmill from the workbench, and then the sawmill is basically your new workbench. You've got the workbench that does basic things, and then stuff like the keg and the grandfather clock and dressers, stuff like that, the more advanced furnitures, are now built at the sawmill. And the sawmill takes, let me think about that, takes wood, like 10 wood, I may be wrong on all these numbers, but 10 wood, 1 chain, some iron, like 3 iron I think, 3 or 5 or something like that, and I want to say that it takes something else, but I may not be right in that. But yeah, just go experiment a little bit, because honestly, I haven't made it yet. But all the new stuff that they added, you're going to need a lot of iron. Also, when they added the street lights in this patch, the street lights I figured out add almost double the radius of a torch of light, which is just ridiculous. So, and they take glass, torches, and iron bars to make them. Not a lot of any of them. I think it might be either 3 or 6 iron bars to make 1 lamp, and it's only like 1 glass, I think. And so yeah, those are totally worth it if you have this big complex that you did in like stone, or depending on how you did it, you may want to lay down some of those, and they look really nice. They're really tall. They are like 10 or 12 blocks tall, so they're really tall, but if you've got room for them, then by all means, they're really nice. Other than that, I think I'm about done for my update for the day. I will keep in touch with you guys on any new updates that come out with these games that I've mentioned. If you've got a game that you specifically want me to try to watch any updates on, then go ahead and leave it in my comments. Tell me, hey, watch this game, like Borderlands 2. I got a comment that I needed to start looking up some Borderlands 2 stuff, so I did. I did indeed start looking up some Borderlands 2. Now that's a little bit harder because that was Game Informer information, and their actual site doesn't provide a lot of information yet. And so that one was a little bit more difficult for me to just search for information. But if you name a game, I will try to keep you guys as updated as I can. And other than that, like, subscribe, dislike, leave me comments on how I can make this any better for you guys. And that's been Thomas Talks for this episode. I will catch you guys later.